Herald Sun released an article on clubs' worst pick trades in the last 10 years and how they look now. And we're going to look at Collingwood's one, of course, and see what they had to say. Let's go back and revisit 2020, where we just lost the semi-final after beating West Coast in Perth, where we were given no chance. We were the 8th seeded team and West Coast were 5th, and then we went on and played Geelong and we got pumped and it was over there. We lose Treloar and Steve O due to salary cap issues, and Derek Hine made it clear that in this draft window, we were looking to get at least 4 players in the top 40 of the national draft. What did we do to make sure that could happen? We gave away a 2021 future first to GWS in exchange for pick 24, 30 and a future 4th. And in hindsight, this looks like a bad swap, right? But the risk was slightly mitigated in the way that we were going to give away our first round pick either way in that window because we had Nick Dacos in the 2022 draft pool. So he would have eaten up our first round draft pick anyway. So why not be proactive and use that? And there were so many pick swaps on the night leading into it in that 2020 draft for Collingwood. So it's a bit convoluted and unclear as to how it all transpired. I didn't live through it live. I'm looking back at it in retrospect. So that is the challenge in this. But we did give up a future first. We got 24, 30 and a future 4th. And in the end, we were able to match a bid for Reef McInnes at pick 23, who actually had interest from Adelaide at pick 11. So that would have made things interesting. And then we drafted Caleb Poulter at pick 30, McMahon at 31, Henry was 16 and Finlay would have been 19 and Bo McCreary was in the 40s or 50s. Somewhere around the mark, guys. Don't frame me for it. And then we also picked up Jack Ginnivan in the rookie draft. So what makes this pick swap look really bad is in 2021, we finished second last. So the future first that we traded to GWS ended up being the second pick in the 2021 draft, except there was a bid for Sam Darcy, so that got pushed down, and then GWS took a Finn Callahan. And you say, well, wow, we could have had Callahan if we kept our pick and we didn't do this and that. As I always say, hindsight is 2020. Does it look bad on paper after it's all said and done? Yes, of course. But you could see what we were going for in that time. We wanted to get a bunch of players in the top 40 to have impact. We had a grand final in 2018, a prelim in 2019, finals in 2020. You can understand we were trying to bolster our list and stay within the confines of the premiership window at that time under Nathan Buckley. The best pick that the Herald Sun referred to was Bobby Hill's one at the end of 2022. We gave up pick 43 and a 2023 second rounder. Those players ended up being Max Noble and Liam Fawcett, ruckmen who have not played in the AFL yet, and I'm not sure if they're going to get a game. I'm not sure how they're going, but yeah, such as the contrast between those 2 years when it comes to the pick swaps. The 2022 one with Bobby Hill is a much more smaller one and pretty clear what the return on investment was there, whereas the 2021, so much happened in that draft window. A lot didn't work out more than what has. What did work out at the moment is Bo McCreary and Jack Ginnivan both being premiership players from that year. And then you can say, well, what didn't work out? Well, we got rid of Steve-O and Treloar, and that hurts, and there were salary cap issues. And the verdict is still out on Reef and Finlay, but they're in some strife at the club when it comes to what type of role are they going to be given? Are they going to be given opportunity? Will Reef get a contract? And then, with 2022, it's pretty clear. We got Bobby Hill, Mr. Norm Smith, wins a grand final. And is young, and we got him at 22, 23 years old. So it's a really good return. But people do look back at that 2020 year in its entirety and go, wow, what was list management doing? Blah, blah, blah. But just looking at it, it does make sense what we tried to do. It's just what happened was unforeseen. Did we see it coming? My question to you guys, if you've made it this far, at the end of 2020, was it right to do what we did? Should have we used that future first for something else? Should have we kept it and used it for the next window to trade for something? Could have we done something else? But that just wants to share my thoughts on what Herald Sun had shared. Collingwood's best and worst pick trade in the last decade, and that's what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And as well, if you've made it this far, then consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video. Go Pies.